The inbounds pass comes into Jordan. Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win it! They win it!
Princeton known for patience on offense. A lot of backdoor cuts. 5 on the shot clock. Here's Sidney Johnson. He'll have to force one. That's a 3.
This is perhaps my favorite game in the history of sports. It's so for several reasons, but one thing I really like about this game, not just the outcome, but it's the technicality of the Princeton offense. We don't have the athletes you have. We don't have maybe the funding or the athleticism that you have. But what we're going to do is we're going to test every inch of your help defense to see how well you guys are working together by getting the ball to the high post and making you help each other, making you defend back cuts and back screens and off the ball screens and away from the ball curls. The beauty of the offense is that not only does it test the help defenders, but it slows the game down. We're not going to beat you 100-99. We can't do it. We don't have the resources to do it. But if we can shorten the game.
What makes the NCAA tournament what it is? Coach Dean Smith would say, I could never beat Jack Nicklaus for 18 holes. But he also said that on the given day, at that given time and moment, he may be able to beat Jack 1 hole. Enter Princeton.
UCLA a 4 seed, Princeton a 13th seed.
UCLA was the defending national champ. Talented players, guys that could get up and down the floor in spectacular fashion. Obviously, it's UCLA, so their pedigree was at a different level. And here's Princeton. I mean, Ivy League guys. They have this old coach on the sideline, Pete Carrill, who's been there forever, who's wearing down a little bit, who's still trying to come up with that one big upset.
The reason why this game is so near and dear to my heart is simple. Princeton had no business winning this game. They probably didn't even think they would win the game before they played it, but they showed up and they gave their best. And in effect, what they did was they competed not against UCLA, the team who was ready to win a title for a second year in a row, but they competed against their own disbelief in themselves, their own ability to believe that they were good enough to win. Because most of the times in life, we're not competing against what's outside of us. We're competing against something inside of us that's afraid of something. To me, this game is a microcosm of the importance of competition. In my case, I'm not necessarily competing against the world around me. I just try to take on 2 tasks at the same time of learning a new language while learning a new skill, which is very demanding in the time that I'm living the rest of my life. And there were times where I felt like, I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I trying to do all of this when life is difficult enough as is? But sometimes when you work hard enough, you have that special moment. A truth that I've come to understand as a man in my 40s is that you don't understand what you're truly capable of until you are in your sink or swim moment. You don't know how you're able to perform under pressure. And better yet, you don't know what abilities lie latent in you until you're forced into the battle, until you have no other way to look except up. I fight my way out of this bag or I'm going to pass away trying to do it. And sometimes the most incredible things can happen when you put yourself to the test of accomplishment under pressure.
But when that game got going, out of nowhere, they start hitting shots that you just wouldn't think that they would hit. They were hitting shots from the wing. They were hitting shots from the baseline. Guys were hitting threes that would never hit threes. It was almost like every player that stepped on the court for Princeton played the best game of their career. And it was just a shocking thing to see.
One of the funny things about having nostalgia, especially as a Gen Xer, is that when you go back and look at footage of the early to mid 90s sports, ooh, that footage is kind of grainy. It's not the way that it looks now. But they still remain core memories. And not only that, but when I choose to do something on top of maybe the difficulty I'm having in life and get a new certificate or learn a new skill or go for a new level test in my 3rd language, Videos like this are reminders of how good it feels on the other side of the difficulty of studying after you get off work and then doing some more studying after you finish your studying and going to bed late at night. That joy that you see when Michael Jordan jumps up in the air and swings his fist, there's no feeling like that.
UCLA got all kinds of trouble with this Princeton team.
Defending national champions, you have them on the ropes.
Pete Carell and the Princeton Tigers have got a chance to win it.
Everybody in the building was standing up. UCLA was a little bit nervous. They know what's coming. It was either going to be a backdoor cut or a three-point shot. They just didn't know where it was coming from.
Princeton with the basketball.
And then all of a sudden, boom.
Under 10, backdoor.
The pass was perfect. And I mean, the joy in that building was something that I'll never forget.
The Princeton Tigers have pulled the upset. They beat the defending national champions.
That was the moment.
Unbelievable.
A big part of manhood, as we all know, is picking heavy things up, moving heavy things around, and putting heavy things down. But this is not just meant for the physical, where we lift weights so that we can look good and we're physically appealing to young ladies and have rippling biceps and all of that stuff, along with staying healthy. But this is also meant for challenging your ethics, for challenging your belief system, for challenging your mental capacities, the skills that you have. We have to pick up and move things around that are heavy in not just our physical lives, but our emotional lives, our physical lives, even in our moral lives, as I've spoken of in previous videos. And a good portion of that is simply staying in a zone that you're uncomfortable in and finding a way to adapt, to get through it. Learn the skills that are necessary so that you can be a better person, a more valuable person at the end of it. And so I have a few videos that I go back to when I'm in the thick of it that remind me that life is not always about seeking the path that is the most pleasurable or the one that's the easiest. Sometimes life is simply about, am I becoming a person that can do more things, that is more valuable, that can challenge the life that I'm having, so that when all is said and done, I lived a life worth living. And the only way you can have that kind of life is there are times we have to put aside the pleasure, the comfortable things to do, and seek for the thing that's difficult to do, the thing that's going to challenge you. Because the truth of the matter is, the most joys, and in my case, it's 6 digits that came in an email, the most joys you're going to get out of life are going to come on the other side of grueling challenge and accomplishment. And as someone who passed a test that I did not think that I was passed, actually I passed 2 this year, the feeling you get when you pass a test or you accomplish something that you didn't think you could or you struggled to do, again, better than sex. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. Catch you next video. Take care, guys.